Hello everyone, here in this series of video we're gonna do the sentiment analysis. This is a learning project. We can take it as a learning project, and this I'm going to do on a real life problem, which is of course UK PM race as of now the most hottest topic, which is apparently between Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak. All right, so in this analysis we're gonna learn a variety of things, out of which if I have to highlight some are web scraping, natural language processing, sentiment analysis and visualization. And not only this, there will be many more things when you go into the detail. All right, so let me take you to the Jupyter notebook and try to help you understand the things with the practical examples. So here is the setup I have done for this particular project. So this project we're gonna complete in 4 stages. First one is environment setup and log into the Twitter, then scrap the tweets, then clean the tweets, and then do the analysis, sentiment analysis, and visualize that. All right, so let's start with environment setup and log into the Twitter. So for that I first require certain to import certain dependencies, so which I will simply copy from here and just put it. All right, before I take you further, let me show you a glimpse of it. Right, so here is the same thing which I have already done, and if you can see over here, I have done some visualization. Here is the scatter plot. This blue line shows the neutral sentiment of the people, and then this one is the negative sentiment, and this one is the positive sentiment. Okay, and over here I have also created a count plot. Here we have the percentage, and here I have also tried to filter out top 3 positive sentiment, top 3 negative sentiment, and the neutral 3 sentiments. Okay, so this is all we are going to achieve over here. So here I have got the list of dependencies. There is one more thing which I want to import at this point of time, and that is get pass. This will help us in making the password masked. Okay, and over here I will create 2 variables. One is for my user, and that I'm going to put my user ID, then my password, for which I will use this module getPass, and then what will happen is here it will just ask me to enter the password, which I am done. And now I need to do the Chrome setup. So here I have already done that. Okay, let me just see if I already have the Chrome opened. No, I don't have that. So I'll just come back over here and I will copy this patch and just put it over here. It is not a rocket science. You can simply do this. All right, you can just do the same exact thing. If you want to see the setup, how to do this Selenium setup for Chrome, I have a separate video. Link will be provided in the description. You can just try that out. Now I just need to run this particular thing and let's just see what happens. It should idly open the Chrome window. Let's just see if we are getting that opened. It's just gonna take a few seconds. Just bear with me. Let's just bear with this. I think it is opened. Where is that? Yeah, here it is. Here it is. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to make this search box, then this button, then password box, and then login button. So let's just do one by one. Here we need to right click this and then click on inspect. This will open the Docker window over here. Then just take this arrow, come over here. This is a little slow. Just click on this and here is what we got. Okay, so here we should have a tag which says username, autocomplete username. Let's just take this. Okay, so these all things I have covered in very detail. Let me just take this one. Okay, and I'll just create a XPath which is called input, and in that I'm just going to use this. All right, so it is selecting the search box. I'll just come back over here, and here I'm just going to say user ID equals to driver dot find element, and into that I'm going to say by dot XPath, and here this and then this. So when this appears, right, this will select the search box, user box, and then in that I need to supply the user ID which I have stored right over here, which is in my user. Okay, so here I'll just say my user over here. All right, and then what next I need to do is I'll just click directly over here. Okay, user ID dot send keys. Let's just try this. Okay, because after entering the user ID over here, I will require to click on the next button, but instead of clicking, I'll hit enter. Okay, so here I will just say keys, and then I will just say keys dot enter. Let's just see here we go. Okay, so remember how I'm using these all things is because I have already imported them over here. You see, by keys, everything I have imported over here. All right, so now let's just try this, what happens. Okay, I just hit enter, and if you see here, the user ID is already entered and we are on the next page. So over here again we need to do the same thing. Let's just take this arrow, come back over here, and over here what we see is, let's just see, let me just make it a little bigger, and here we have type equals to password. Let's just copy this tag and it's gonna be the same thing over here. I will just type password, and this is selecting the box. Okay, so let's just create the another shell, and here I will say password equals to driver dot find element, and inside that I will use by XPath, and inside that I'm just going to use the password box, and in that now the box is created. Inside that I need to supply my password, which I have already stored. For your reference, I'll just take you at the top over here, and here is the password stored in my pass. Okay, so I'll just type that my pass. Okay, and then I will just hit enter. For that I will just say send keys, inside that keys, and I need to choose keys, then I need to choose enter over here. Let's just hit execute this and let's just see what happens. Looks like there is something wrong, the password is not correct. So let me just come back over here and let's just hit enter. Looks like I had entered the incorrect password. Now I will again come back over here and let's just try. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it is accepted. Okay, and now we are inside my account. Okay, let me just bring it to the bottom over here. All right, so we are logged in our account. So the next thing which we're gonna do is search all those tweets which has mentioned about Liz Truss. So for that, first of all, we require to create a search box in our session. So for that, I'll just take this, come over here, all right, and just find this. Okay, so here I must have any ID. I just need to pick any ID. All right, so we can just, let's just take this. Okay, search box, search input. Okay, let me just try to create the XPath for this, and that I'm going to say input @ this and this. All right, so it is selecting the search box. Done. Let's just come back over here. Okay, and here I'm just going to create a search box variable, in fact, and here I would say driver dot find element, and inside this by XPath comma this, and here I will just make it to the single quotes. All right, so this search box will be created. Now once this search box is created, let me come back over here and let me have another variable created, which is search item. I'm creating it over here so that it will be easy to change whenever needed. Liz Truss. So we will search all the tweets about Liz which talks about Liz Truss. Okay, so over here this is done, search box is created. Now in this search box we need to supply a value which we want to search. So for that, like you would have learned by now, which is send keys, and inside that I'm going to say search item. And once this is done, then of course you know we need to hit enter. So for that, that's what I'm going to say, keys, come back over here, dot enter. All right, so this is done. Now here we don't have anything written into it. Now when I execute this, ideally it should put Liz Truss into this, and it should hit enter and should give us all the tweets about her. Okay, so let's just hit enter. Oops, it shows some error. Let me just check it out. Okay, there seems to be some problem. Liz Truss over here. Let's just see what is the problem that it is giving me. All right, so let's just see the error. Invalid selectors, message invalid selector, locate an element XPath there seem to be some problem with the text path which we have given over here. Let me just figure it out for you. Search box, search input, this looks all good. Okay, here is one quotation I have missed. Alright, now let's just come back over here. Like you can see, it is processing, and in few seconds we would have all the tweets over here, like you can see it. Alright, so now the next thing which we're gonna do is we're gonna scrap all these tweets. Alright, so for sure these are not the tweets, we have the tweets starting from here. Alright, so let's just find the tag for that thing. Okay, so what is the tag that we have? So for that you again need to take this arrow, click on this arrow again and come back over here and hover on the tweet. So this is what we got. Okay, so what the ID, unique ID which we have is data test ID tweet text. Okay, so let's just create the, okay, let me just see it once again, and it is under div tag, and the ID variable is data test ID, and this is what we can use, and inside that we have our tweet. Here is what we are looking for. Okay, so we will just simply grab this and we will extract the text out of it. So let me just copy this once again, which is data test ID, and I will use the div tag. Let me create this div @ this and this. Alright, so here it has selected 2 items. When you do scroll down, it will keep on selecting other items. Like you can see, the items are changing. Alright, so I'll just change it to the single quote and just come back over here, and let's just say tweets. Like you can see, I'm making it plural just because I want to keep all the tweets inside this. Okay, so here I will say driver dot find elements. So this time I will not use element, rather I will use elements, and then over here I will say by.xpath, and inside that I'm just going to put this. Okay, so this is it, and after that what we can do is for tweet in tweets we can just try to see print tweet dot text. Okay, so here are the tweets we got. Alright, so this is how we can fetch the tweets. Let's just see how many tweets does it have. Okay, alright, so let's just try len and tweets. Let's just see if this gives us the length. 3 tweets it has extracted. Alright, that's absolutely fine. Let's just start scrapping our tweets. So whatever tweets we extract, whatever tweet text we're gonna extract, we need to make a list or set. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a blank set. So let's just say all tweets, and over here I will just create a set. This is because it will keep the unique tweets only inside this. So what will happen is it will find the element, all the matching elements, and from that we will iterate through, and we will keep on fetching each of the tweets one by one. Okay, so instead of print, what I am going to use is all tweets dot add, because append doesn't work with set. So here I'm just going to say add, and it will extract the tweet text and it will keep on adding into the tweets. Now once it does, after that we require to scroll down. So to scroll down we have a JavaScript which you can simply copy paste from here. I will provide the script. Okay, so this is going to be very simple. So when you this will scroll it down, and when you scroll down it takes some time to load the tweet, right? So for that I'm going to give it 3 seconds. Once it is done loading that, so then again I need to find this element, and once this is done I will also check the length of all tweets. All tweets, I'm just going to say all tweets. Please avoid this airplane noise, and I will just say I will only fetch 50 tweets. Okay, and if the moment it is in exceeding the 50, I would like it to break. Okay, and for this what I need to do is I would require to run a while loop, while true. Okay, and let's just do a shift. Okay, and let's just hit enter. Okay, and let's just see what happens. Oops, so here is my cell selected, and I will just run this. There seem to be some problem. While true. Okay, I just missed the column. Okay, now let's just run this. here if statement is something which I was missing, and let's just run this now. Okay, this is executed, and let's just see what is happening. Go back to the Twitter page over here. So like you can see, it is scrolling down. I'll just close this Docker window. So this will just scroll down. I'll pause the video till time. Alright, so here we are done with scrapping the tweets. Let's just see all tweets. I will just change it to list again. Okay, all tweets and then list, and here I will say all tweets, and here I will try to print one tweet. Out of that, let's just print the 0th element. Okay, so here we got the first tweet. Liz Truss survives a bumpy week, riding higher than ever in Tory leadership race. Okay, now in the next one we're gonna learn about how to do the cleaning of the tweets. Okay, all right everybody, so by now whatever tweets we have extracted, now we will do the cleaning of the tweets. All right, so I'll just explain what does cleaning means, but before that, first thing which we're gonna do is here we're gonna convert this list which we have created in the previous video. We're gonna convert that into a data frame. So for that we require pandas. Import pandas as pd, and let's just see, right, that is imported. Now I'll create a df data frame, which is nothing but the data frame, and then I'll say pd dot data frame, and it is completed. Inside that I'm just going to supply this list of tweets, which is all tweets, and I will give a column name which is tweets. All right, and then I'll just print certain tweets out of that. Here is what we got. All right, so here we have the tweets. Now you can see this this is showing the complete text. In your case it might not show because I have done certain settings. The setting is, this is what the setting is, pd dot option, and then you're gonna say display. I'm not sure, is display dot column width. This is not column width equals to 1000. Okay, there is some error, so let me just take it from here, the exact syntax, instead of wasting the time to figure it out. I'll just copy paste from here. Okay, so I must be having it somewhere over here. So here we have just right over here. Okay, so I'll just copy paste. Okay, so we got this. So this setting will make you see the complete string of your tweet, right? So we will be doing the cleaning of this tweet. What this cleaning means is, here you see there are certain words with @ and then some with hashtag. Okay, so we're gonna remove these things. Then we have certain stop words, that is something which we also remove. Let's do this one by one. First thing first, we will try to apply the cleaning on one tweet, and then we will apply that on the all tweets which we have extracted, somewhere 50. Now let's just create the cleaner. Okay, so for that, first thing which we require is to grab one tweet. Okay, so let's just say one tweet. Okay, let me first try this. Okay, df dot ilog, and over here I would say 4th row from the column which is tweets. All right, let's just print. Yeah, here we got this. Okay, don't worry about this slash or an, it simply shows a new line. Okay, so don't worry about that. Now I will just store it in one tweet. Okay, over here, and this is stored into one tweet. This I'm doing because so that I could, apply the cleaning on one tweet first, and then we will apply it at all. Okay, so now over here I've just inserted one shell. I'm just going to create the cleaners. Okay, so how can we do that? For that we require one more dependency to be imported, which is regular expression. So for that I will just say import re. RE is nothing but regular expression module. If you require instruction on how to install that, you can just let me know into the comment section. I will make a video. Now this is a website which helps us creating the regular expression. So here I'm using one tweet, and I will try to make a regular expression which could identify all these things, and then the hashtags. So link I will provide of this website, link will be provided in the description section. Just check that out. Okay, now first thing which we need to find is @. Then after that we need to find all the alphabets. Okay, so now the problem is it will be identifying only small letters. We also need to fetch the capital letters. All right, so now this is done, there could be certain scenarios where you would have some, you know, numbers also into this. So for that I will just say 0 to 9. This is done, and because this is selecting certain characters only, so we need to select till it finds the next space or line, right? So for that I will just put plus. Now you can see it is selecting the complete word and 2 items are selected. Now this is the regular expression which is going to help us, you know, clean the tweet. So let's just say I'll just import the thing, insert the cell below this, and over here I will say clean tweet equals to re.sub. So re.sub is nothing but the substitution. If you look at the function here, it says put the pattern which you want to find, then put the replacement instead of the match, whatever you want to put that. For example, if it finds this match, so instead of this match, what is it that you want to put? Then here it asks you to put the string, means what is the string where you want to do the search. So that is one tweet. Let's just try to put this. So first thing which we need to put is pattern. So pattern, we will put this under this thing, okay, in the double inverted comma, which is prefixed with r is nothing but it simply says this is raw string, and then I just want to replace this with nothing, okay, so I'm just putting double quote, okay, and then I will need to supply the tweet on which we want to perform this cleaning, okay. Now let's just run this. Now you can see this @ word is gone. Similar thing we need to create, you know, to replace this hashtag. So for that everything is gonna be same. All that I need to do is just change this to hashtag, and I will also like to replace the blank spaces, so I will do this. All right, and instead of one tweet I will use clean tweet, which has been cleaned in the first step, so that here it would have @ word already removed. Now when you run this, like you can see, hashtags are also gone. This is done. All right everybody, so now here we will see what stop words are and how we're gonna use that to do the cleaning, okay. Let's just first understand what stop words are. So you see these words, right? These are something which does not make much sense in, you know, understanding the power of the words, right? These are some kind of the helping words, right, which just help in framing the sentence, right? So these are the things which we need to remove out of it. But how do we do that? So for that we require two things: one, list of all these words, and then another one, list of all the words which we have in this sentence. Two things: list of all these stop words, and then list of words available in this sentence. If you see, this is one complete sentence. We need to split this into multiple parts first. So let's just first start with having these stop words. For that we require to import certain dependency, which I have over here. These all are the dependencies which we would require. So I'll just take it from here, and these are done. And then I need to create the list of stop words. I will just create a list of stop words right over here. So let's just say stop words dot words, and then like English, each of the languages has their own stop words. So here we're gonna specify that we only require the stop words from English. All right, so here is the list of all those stop words. We're gonna put that into a variable. Let's call it stop words. All right, so here I would have that list. I will just print it, print stop words. So like you can see here, we got the list of the stop words. Next thing which we're gonna do is we're gonna break this sentence into multiple parts. All right, so let me just show it to you. For example, here I have the list of stop words. Sorry, let me just print this so that it will be small to see. It will be easily visible. Now the next thing which we need to do is split this tweet. So let's just say clean tweet dot split, and we are going to split it basis on the spaces. Okay, now let's run this. Okay, so here is what we got. Here is our tweet. Okay, let me just try to print it. Here is it printed. Okay, now the next thing which we're gonna do is we're gonna do the lookup of both of these two lists, right? So what exactly will happen is lookup will be done, and the process will find the matches between both of these two things. For example, if you see here, we have these stop words. Okay, so the moment it matches with this list, we will say that remove that, or just keep the things which are not matching with this one. How can we do that? So for that we're gonna say, dropped. Again, let's say clean tweet equals to, I will just say space dot join. We would require to run a for loop. Okay, join over here. Let me just say dot join. Okay, and inside that I will say word for word in, I will say clean tweet dot split. I'm just doing this thing over here. Okay, split. All right, and then I would say if word not in stop words. So understand, here I'm just iterating through each of the words in this particular list here, right? And then I'm trying to match that if that is available into it or not. If not, I'm trying to pick only those words which are not available into it. Now once we do this, what's gonna happen is we're gonna get this tweet which would not have the stop words. Let's just try to run this. Ooh, it gone, right? So it is executed, like you can see, great, and it directly comes to today. So focus on this over here. If you see over here, it says great to be with and today. Okay, so between great and today we have these 4 stop words. All of those are removed. All right, so it seems like working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a function basis on all these, and I will apply that on the data frame. So let's just create a function. Let's call it def tweet cleaning, and inside that I'm going to supply a variable which is, you can say anything, whatever you want. Okay, and then I'll just hit tab, and over here I will simply say return. Okay, oops, sorry, return, and this is it. Okay, so this function will be created. After this, I need to apply this function on a variable which we already have in our data frame and create a new variable. Here we have the tweets variable. On that I will just apply it. Okay, so let's just say df inside that, let's say cleaned tweets equals to df tweets dot apply, and inside that let's just put this function which is called tweet cleaning. So I will just put this, and then I will try to print the top 5 rows. Ooh, it is over here. So let's focus on this. Like you can see, all the @ words, all these hashtags and stop words are gone. In this video we will learn to create 3 variables, in fact 2 variables, which are subjectivity and polarity. Let me show you a sample of this. Like you can see over here, I have already created polarity and subjectivity, right? So what polarity and subjectivity means is, I'll just give you a quick idea about it, right? So let's talk about first polarity. Okay, so polarity is something which ranges between -1 to 1. So if polarity is 1, that is nothing but parameterization of your tweets, and which simply represents if you get polarity -1 for certain tweets or string, for certain string, if the polarity is -1, that means that particular string is highly negative. If it is 1, then it is absolutely positive. Same thing happens with subjectivity. So subjectivity also ranges between -1 to 1, and when you get 1, that means it is completely the personal opinion, and the more you get it lesser, that means it is turning out to be factual. So this is what the polarity and subjectivity is in a nutshell. All right, so that's what we're gonna create as of now. All right, so for that we require one module which is called TextBlob. Let's just see if we have it already imported. No, so we will just import that, import those 2 libraries. I'll just pick it quickly from here. I already have it. I'll also take this because this will be required in few moments. Okay, so let's just come back over here, and in the function where I already have it, so here itself I'll just import that. Okay, and let me run this again, because these functions are always going to be the same, right? So first I'll create 2 functions, which is called, first one is calculate polarity, and inside that I will supply the tweet, and the function says return TextBlob, this library. Inside that I will just put tweet, and what is it that we want to calculate on that? So for that I'm going to calculate over here polarity. Let's just see if it has it. Alright, so it should have this polarity. Okay, here is one silly mistake which I am making, which is first I need to use sentiment. Okay, it is again taking time. Sentiment dot polarity. Let's just see if this works. Looks like it is working. Alright, so here I already have that created. Okay, so here I got the polarity. Now the same way I will try to create another function which is called def dot calculate subjectivity, and inside that I'm going to put weight. And let me just copy this quickly to make it quick, and here I will just say subjectivity. I'm not sure why it is not doing the autocomplete. Alright, let me just run this. Yeah, it doesn't give any error, that means it is fine. Now the next thing which we're gonna do is we're gonna create two more variables over here, df, and here I will say t polarity, t, and the next one which I need to create over here is t subjectivity. Alright, so let me just do this, and then the next thing which we're gonna do is df dot this variable which we're gonna use just right over here, and on this what I will do is, let me just put one space, and then I will just say apply, and into that I will just put calculate polarity, and then the same thing which I will do over here, I'll just say df, let me just paste this, and then apply. Inside that I will say calculate subjectivity. Alright, so let's just see what happens. Oh, it just gave the error. Let me just see what is the problem over here. TextBlob is not defined. Okay, let me just come back over here. Why it says TextBlob is not defined? Okay, let me just run this and try this once again. It looks like I will have to import TextBlob first. Alright, so I got it why it's showing the error. So here the spelling error we should have it in capital letter, T with capital letter. Now let's just run this and then come back over here. Here we go, right? So here, oh, this is pretty similar. Do we have the duplicate over here? It looks like the data has duplicates. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, let me just take the shape of the data first. Df dot shape. The color is not allowed over here. 52 only. So I will just remove the duplicates. It's look like it has the duplicates, does it? Great today. Okay. Alright, so it is not applying on the correct one. Let me just see here what is the problem. Clean weight. Alright, so I'm sorry, here is one mistake which I have done. Here instead of one tweet I should say tweet. Alright, so let me just take this over here and then run this and then come back over here. I'm sorry, in the previous video I explained you incorrect thing, please pardon me for that. And over here we have that correctly stored. Okay, so now here we have the polarity and subjectivity. Now the next thing which we're gonna do is we will segment basis on the polarity. So let's just create another function. I will just call it segmentation. Let's just say def polarity segmentation. I'll just say simply segmentation, and in this I will just apply tweet. I will just say if tweet greater than 0, then return positive. Alright, and then I would say if tweet equals to 0, then return neutral. If tweet, or let's simply say else, return sorry, negative. And here we will create another variable, let's say segmentation, and we will just say this. And over here the next thing which we want to apply is segmentation. Okay, let's just see what happens. Again there is an error. I'm used to this, I'm used to of this now. Let's just see what is the error. This is not supported. Okay, so I need to use instead this particular variable over here. We want to create the segmentation basis on the polarity now. So let me just keep it up. Okay, and first thing which we're gonna do is we're gonna see how this is distributed, okay, basis on this segmentation. Okay, let me just try to do pdf dot pivot table, and in this index which I'm going to supply is, let's say, here I'm just going to say segmentation. All right, I will just say this segmentation, and I'll just put it into the quotes. And then aggregated function which I'm going to use is, let's say again segmentation, and over here I will just say count, and let's just see what happens. Okay, so here is what we have. So if you see in the entire one, 34 tweets are positive and only 9 are neutral and 9 are negative. This is very good. That means it is turning out that Liz Truss is very strong, and she is most likely going to be the PM. Now you bet on this, and this, let's just see what happens in some time. Okay, now let's just see top 3 positive tweets. Okay, so what is that? We have top 3. df dot sort values by, here I just need to put polarity, t polarity. Basis on the polarity, we will just see what is the top 3 tweets. So this will give us the data sorted, and now we just need to, like you can see, this is sorted basis on the tweet. This is the least amount which we have, minimum one. Okay, and now let's just say here 3. So here you got the top 3 negative, sorry, these are the negative ones. So here we need to find the positive, so we're gonna say ascending equals to false, and now you got the top 3 positive tweets. Now you can just read this and you will find that this is true. Another protester has just interrupted Liz Truss at the to which Truss responded, I take it as a compliment. I am so popular with Extinction Rebellion. Okay, so like you can see, this shows positive point about Liz Truss, right? So that's why it has given 0.750. all right, so this is good. Okay, now the next thing which we're gonna do is we're gonna say the what is negative about her. Okay, so here I will just say ascending equals to true, and then what we get is this is something negative about her. If you see, a reminder that Nicola Sturgeon called former Scottish Lib Dem blah blah blah. So if you just read this, you will find what could go wrong. These all are the things which is causing it to be a negative tweet. All right, so we just saw. Now if you want to see the neuter one, then for that you simply say df and then say df dot polarity, t polarity, let's call it polarity equals 0. Let's just see if this gives, yeah, it just gave us, and we only require 3, head 3. All right, so here is what we got, 3 neutral tweets. Now the next thing which we're gonna see is what are the words which have been used mostly, I mean most of the time, right? So this kind of chart we're gonna prepare over here. So first thing which we need to do is we need to consolidate all the tweets together. Okay, so let's say consolidated equals to, let's just say dot join, and inside that I'll just make it for word in word, sorry, I just made a mistake, word for word in df, and this is the variable which we're gonna take over here. Alright, so what it will do is it will go through each of these tweets and it will combine them. Let's just see if it works as per the expectation. Yeah, it combined all of them, like you can see right over here. Now we need to just create the WordCloud, right? So like you can see over here, I have already created this. So what I'll do is I'll just copy paste it from here, or maybe let me just create it over here. WordCloud equals to WordCloud. Inside that, the parameter which it takes is width and height. So I'll just take the parameter from here, and the next thing it takes is random state. So random state I will just keep for 20 tweets, right? 20 words rather we can say. So whatever random 20 words it picks, so let's just say maximum font size I want to keep, let's say 120. Okay, and here I would say plt dot axis. Okay, I also need to import matplotlib, import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt. Okay, let me just do this. Okay, good one. And then the axis, I will just off the axis. Okay, and then I will just say plt dot, let's just say show. Okay, and there's one more thing which I need to put this one. Okay, so what I'll do is here I'll say plt dot I am show, and inside that we need to use this data and interpolation equals to bilinear. Data which we have is consolidated tweets, and then interpolation I want to use bilinear. Let me just copy paste this from here. This will save the time. Okay, so I'll just put it right over here. Let's just see what happens. Okay, it just gave the error as usual. Image data of data type cannot be converted to float. What is the problem? Let's just see. This random state maximum font size. Okay, this is generate consolidated tweets. This is something which we need to use with that. Let's just see if this works. Again there is a, okay, let's just keep it simple, and I'll just copy paste this from here all the way over here. Let's just try. Still the problem. What is the issue? Consolidated tweets is not defined. So instead of consolidated tweets, what I'll do is I'll just use this. Alright, so it should produce the TextBlob. Okay, so here you see least thrust is the word which has been used mostly, then the people, then need, then want leadership. These are all the words which you see in big font size. That means those are something which have been used most frequently, right? Here what I'll do is I'll try to plot this data, plot this polarity on a scatter plot, in a scatter plot. Okay, so for that what we need to do is we need to import this dependency. Alright, and basis on that, let me just import this first. That is imported. Now I'll just create a scatter plot, sns dot scatter plot, and inside that data equals to df, and then on x-axis I will just put polarity. Okay, let's just call it t polarity, and then on y-axis I'm going to put t subjectivity. Let's see what happens. Alright, so I just need to put this into the codes. Alright, so here we got this. Okay, So this is what we are getting, and this should be the neutral line. Okay, let me just try to put it this way. Over here I will just say sns.setStyle, and in the set style I will just say, you know, white grid. Let's just see if this works. Yeah, it is working. And over here I will just say s equals to 100. I'm just trying to make the points a little bigger. Alright, so this is the neutral line. Ideally neutral should be 9 points. Okay, let me just try to switch this. Okay, let me just try to put the hue into it. So hue equals to segmentation. Let's just see what happens. Okay, it says some issue over here. Okay, let me just put it into the quotes. Alright, so now you can see over here green lines are showing neutral, and if you just make it a little bigger, okay, so over here we have two neutral lines, and these blue lines are positive points, and then the saffron colors are, you know, the negative one. Okay, alright, so over here what I just did is I changed set the figure size over here, and I have set the style, and here I have set the size of markers, and then I have used segmentation just to represent this as color. So over here if you see, if you take the count of all this saffron color, these are the negative points. This will be 9, and they should be 34, which we had got previously 34, and the neutral points should also be 9. So why is it showing just 2? Let's just figure it out. Okay, so over here you see 0 polarity and 0 subjectivity. For that it is showing 1 point, and 0 polarity, and to some, I mean subjectivity something more than 0, somewhere 0.5 or 0.6. There is just 1 point. So what is the problem over here? Let's just figure it out. Okay, so here I have filtered all the traits which has polarity equals to 0, and now if you see over here all the traits which has polarity 0 and subjectivity 0, those are, you know, you see this, out of 9, 8 traits having 0 polarity and 0 subjectivity, 1 has 0 polarity and this much of subjectivity. So second point which we see is this, rest of all the points are, you know, overlapped on this only, that's why it is just showing 1 to us. Okay, now I just hope that it is clear to you. This is not a rocket science. Okay, now after this what we will do is we will just create a count plot. Let's just see sns.count plot, and inside that let's just apply data equals to df, and then we will just say x equals to segmentation. Alright, so now if you see over here, here is what we got. Okay, so if you see neutral are somewhere 9, negative segmentation are 9, positive are somewhere 34. So this is it in this video, right? So the next one which I would like you to do is, I just hope that you was following along. Just in case not, then don't worry, just do the same thing, and you know, try to fetch the same information for Rishi Sunak. Okay, here we did it for Liz Truss, and now I request you to do it for Rishi Sunak, and let me know what is the number that you got for it. Okay, further you can also find the percentage of it. If you want to find the percentage, then what you can do is, here I have already done that. Let me just copy paste it quickly. Okay, so that it will be quick. Here is what I have already done. Okay, let me just bring it over here, and I'll just put it over here, and instead of this I will just say segmentation, and this and this. So if you see over here, simply what I'm doing is I'm taking the length or number of rows which I have available in data frame, and here I'm taking number of rows where the segmentation is positive. Same thing I'm doing for negative and neutral. All right, and then I will try to print this thing. Okay, let's just see. So here is the percentage which we are getting. So least throughs may win. There are 65% chances, because 65% of the tweets are positive, right? 17% chances that they might lose, and 17% are the chances, I mean, where people are neutral, they don't have much to say about. Okay, so this is it in this video. Hope you liked it and you enjoyed it. I highly recommend you that you just try this for Rishi Sunak and let me know what is the percentage and what is the distribution that you are getting. Wish you very all the best and happy learning.